What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another training video. You know what's coming up next. We've got legs, chest, and strongman stuff coming your way. I'm gonna, render these clips a little bit longer just so you can kind of see, and I can, talk a little bit more in between, theory and different ways of how I structure my training and things along those lines. So to make these videos, I know if people prefer them to be shorter, that's fine with me. I can just kind of do the highlight clips, but I don't know, I like to talk about why I'm doing certain things the way I am. I even made such changes as making the text a little bit bigger when describing the lift and the weight. It was a little too small when I was watching it on my home TV, so hopefully that is beneficial for everyone going forward. But we're working up to a heavy single today on squats, and I'm going to kind of talk you through the strategy going up there. I wasn't feeling too great this week. A lot of different allergies, cold, sickness, I don't even know, to be honest, and tweaked shoulder, so squats didn't feel the greatest. You can see me kind of fidget at the end of each lift with that tweaked shoulder, so still nursing that, and just I'm going to show you some solutions that I use to mitigate it while training so I can still train. But we still have to lift, we still have to hit some form of number in order to keep moving forward. That's always my goal. That's what keeps me training. So you have to work around potential injuries or any sort of issues that you may have. You can train smarter. You don't always have to train harder. So working up here, and you can kind of tell from the speed on everything, not looking too great on squats. So my upper limit, it's kind of starting to set in here. You can kind of see, after I rack it, yeah, my game plan probably isn't going to happen. So I'm going to have to come up with a new one. So 375, I generally use this as a weight to determine like how high above my mental sticking point I'm willing to go. And so you'll see here with this set here, descent wasn't terrible, but it's moved faster, so I kind of know my upper limit's lower than it normally is. So decided to just jump up and hit that set. 420 was going to be my yay or nay if the 375 moved well, and it did not move well, so I ended up just capping it off here on a squat. I'm just going to kind of sit back and let it play here so you can just kind of see everything. And I'm not going to lie, I did cut depth on this. It wasn't a sink like I normally do, and that was me. It was a mental thing. I unloaded the bar. It felt kind of heavy, so just took it, moved on to sumo deadlifts. And the whole workout basically didn't feel too great. You can probably tell. So did what I could here. I was supposed to work up to a heavy single on sumo deadlifts. So this is my warm-up before this top single. And there's 551, which is like not a PR or anything, just a heavy-ish single during the training block. And, I fatigue, the little injury, things were not going my way. So I just decided to find a point where I could just do something that challenged me and then move on from there. So I still made sure to do my accessories and to make sure to get the work in. This stuff doesn't really stress my joints. It's mainly the heavy lifts that complicates the recovery and can make the heavy compounds difficult when you're going through them. So I just make sure to do them. You're going to build a lot of muscle doing it that way, and you'll get the strength benefits from the other lifts as well too. So I actually changed the handle of my close grip pull down. I felt like I was doing too many pulling movements with my palms facing away from me. So to hit a little bit more bicep and get a little bit more stress just for variety's sake, and then to hit it from a different angle. Maybe this will alleviate some of the stress of the shoulder issue that I'm facing, allow it to recover, or will even spur some recovery in that shoulder because it's a different new way that I'm pulling. So to introduce that new stress in there might get it to quickly recover more than it normally would with the new stress involved. So kind of logic there, and I just felt good. Sometimes for me though, with the close grip stuff, like I mentioned before, it's hard to get like a good contraction, so might as well mix it up. And so here's my solution to my current shoulder issue when it comes to bench. I find that if I'm using this quote-unquote neutral football grip on bench, it doesn't hurt as much, and do these paws nice and controlled. I can still get the bench work that I'm looking for, and then so when my shoulder's fine, I can come back to the straight barbell. But this was kind of fun. It was something different to do. The contraction was a little bit different, and I did high rep sets. I did sets of 10 on the way up, and then sets of 8 on my main working weight, and then that was fine with me. So just got a good pump, a good amount of reps in. It was different. I'm used to doing heavy weights almost all the time on the main compound, so it was nice to kind of break it up. And the endurance was iffy, but I'm happy to have been able to at least work out and still bench, because it's this very movement specific. And if you don't do it in the daily life and tasks and things that you do, you can't really prepare and train for it. You're basically only benching in the gym. So worked up to 185 here. These handles are thicker, so it was a little bit of a balancing act here. I probably should use wrist wraps just to stabilize it. I'm not going to say they're as thick as the log handles are, but it felt something similar to that. So stabilization was key here, and I did like that. When you rest essentially or pause the lift here, there's a lot of surface area to kind of sit on your chest. You can kind of calibrate everything and then press as you needed. So that was me rubbing my shoulder there, the one that is slightly injured in this training session, and doing another set of 185. I think I hit sets of 8 on these. I was trying to go for 10, but I just wasn't feeling the last two. It felt progressively difficult. So did what I could, got the pump, and then I have all the extra reps and stuff from previous sets. And mainly this is just to get blood in the area, hit it from a different angle, and help that shoulder recover, and then not make that mistake again that I've made in the past. So overall, decent training session. If I do suffer issues here in the past, you can actually kind of see here a different angle. It's not wide, it's about shoulder width, and then you can go wider. I tried the wider, did not like it, but I can go narrow on the bench here, and it really alleviates almost all of the shoulder stress on any sort of bench related, not injury, but discomfort that I get. So this is a good fallback bar. If you still want to get the chest workout, get the blood in there, practice the movement, you can use this bar if you've got a football bar or something similar. Surprisingly, I was able to do dumbbell incline, the press, with 100 pounds, which is interesting because normally the higher the incline, the more shoulder involvement, the more painful it can be. But this is such a specific tweak. It's almost like I can overhead press fine, so it's the reverse. The higher up an incline I go, the more alleviated it is. So it must have been something strictly with flat, where that specific angle where you're flat and you're pressing, that caused an issue. If I did flat dumbbell, it wouldn't bother me. And then you're going to see in the set too, I do good amount of reps in here too, so I'm good. I'm fine. That's totally cool with me. I move on here. Did 3 sets of that, and it was great. And back to my original point about this being a flat issue, I'm over here doing decline, which is emphasizing a lot more chest and less shoulder, and it's not bothering me here. I was able to get a bunch of reps in on here, and didn't have any issues. Felt good. Got a nice pump. Shoulder felt great. Did some extra shoulder stuff after the fact, which I'm not going to show just for the sake of time and everything. And then I was able to come in, spoiler alert, in the next video clip and do my log stuff. So, overall, this was a fine workout. I mitigated the shoulder issue, and basically the whole week I've just been working out around it. Definitely stressed on squats, so not happy about that. But if I take my thumb off and manipulate the wrist, I'm usually okay, or use the wrist wraps here. So yeah, not really an issue with the rotation. There was some discomfort, but nothing painful. So my speed was a little off on these cleans, but it was a pretty good fun time. And I'm glad I wasn't completely out of the gym for, X amount of time because of that shoulder issue. Did some log cleans, and didn't lose any of them. Well, actually, I guess take that back right there. But I just lowered my upper limit on the log cleans. When you get heavier and heavier and you're catching that weight, you're going to feel that rack position. It's going to be not the most comfortable feeling in the world. So I worked my way up, and then just even did back off sets. And I guess I'm looking at the footage now, though I did kind of cut the rack position. Like I didn't roll it directly all the way back into the shoulder. I kind of cut it short because that's where the pain didn't hurt. So just did what I could to get through the workout. Yeah, I definitely did cut it short. Didn't even notice that till now, because when I was moving in the training session, I just kind of ran through, worked my way up, and I felt like a machine just doing everything I'd done before. You can see from this angle, yeah, okay, so I'm racking it. Just a weird angle, I guess. Yeah, 245 here. And then, yeah, just healthy enough to do my back offs after the heavy single, so totally fine with that. And then, yeah, like here, clean it, fine, rack it. The press was like no issue, so clearly it's not a pressing in this plane type of issue. It's specific to bench, so it must be some sort of like joint pec type of tie-in that's an issue. So slowly working it out and hoping to resolve that issue shortly. But didn't stop me from training. You know, obviously if you're suffering from any pain or you're suffering from any discomfort and it affects your daily life, then you should definitely get it looked at. But it wasn't the case for me. Sometimes we do dumb meathead stuff and you have to pay the price for it. You just have to make sure that you can recover and you do what you have to do to make sure that you can perform all the things you need to perform. And the more you do stuff, the better endurance, the better recovery you're going to get. So overall, thanks for watching. Here's the last set. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe, like, do all the stuff, and I'll keep making vids. Thank you. Thanks for watching the latest video. If you want to help support the channel, I actually own my own wet shaving and grooming e-commerce website where everything's handmade by me. It's www.apexsoaps.com, and you can get a 10% off code using wet shaver. We've got some cool scents here. We've got some Coca-Cola scents, a horchata scent, traditional barbershop, just some really cool stuff. And you can purchase samples or you can buy the whole set. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. Be quick to respond. Thanks for watching.